Local broadcast of the following program is made possible by support from members of Rhode Island PBS in partnership with
The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.
Welcome to another segment of In Another Opinion, a public information program where our discussions are focused on the communities of color in the state of Rhode Island. I'm your host, Peter Wells. My guests today are Denise Barge, Business Assistant Advisor for Rhode Island Commerce Corporation, and Shirley Moore from the Institute of Entrepreneurship and Leadership. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm a little tongue-tied this morning. I guess it's a little bit early. But welcome to the show. Denise, you and I have known each other for a while, and we haven't had a chance to get you on the show. But tell me about what Rhode Island Commerce Department is doing these days and what you're doing for them.
Rhode Island Commerce Corp is a quasi-public agency with the state of Rhode Island. We specialize in economic development. We work with the public, private sectors, as well as nonprofits in trying to provide for small businesses assistance and services that they need in order to grow their businesses and really contribute to the health of the state. Really what we are, I'd like to say, is the state's arm for economic development. My role is as a navigator of the whatever needs to be resolved or either and to point people or businesses in the right direction. And you should know that the businesses that I speak of, 80% of them have employees of 25 or less. So basically, we service all different types of businesses all over the state.
Very good. That's got to keep you busy since right now the state is in the mode of trying to develop more businesses and a workforce that's prepared for those businesses.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah, and what we offer basically as services is we offer commercial real estate searches that people can avail themselves to for expansion or relocation. We also offer business financing, and that could be anything from a larger loan for $500,000 to the Small Business Assistance Program, which offers loans from $25,000 to $250,000, and also microloans. We also offer a renewable energy fund grants, which can help save people 30% on the installation of solar. We also offer tax credits and tax incentives. We have science and technology grants, and we have also other services, including workforce training, that is with our partner, the Department of Labor and Training. So there are a lot of different services there that I can point people toward.
You sure do, a lot of arms. So what's your connection with Ms. Moore here and her organization?
Well, my connection with Shirley, which is a fun one and a great one, is that in the process of trying to point people in the right direction and give them some counseling and move them along to the next step, sometimes technical assistance is required for these businesses.
Sure.
So my connection with EIL, right?
IEL.
IEL. See, I knew I was going to get it. IEL. That's why I don't use acronyms, okay, Peter, because I get them messed up all the time.
Institute of Executive Leadership.
Institute of Executive
Entrepreneurship.
Institute of Entrepreneurship and Leadership.
Okay.
I should leave it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, I had met Shirley a while back, and she has a fantastic program that she can tell you about in terms of the types of technical assistance she's providing,
right,
so that businesses can go from idea concept really to opening the doors to their business.
So Shirley, tell me about your organization and your mission.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So we're the Institute of Entrepreneurship and Leadership, and we teach entrepreneurship, and we do it a little bit different from other people. We have a mission to eradicate poverty through entrepreneurship. So we believe that in our community, entrepreneurship can really change and shift the culture. And really the economic status of our communities, primarily communities of colors and urban communities. And what we do is that we teach, our program is called Bootstrap Bootcamp. It's a 24-hour intensive program where the first 9 hours are really focused on the individual. So we don't start talking business until you have a strategic life plan, until you know your mission and your purpose. I'm a graduate of the program. I own an interpreting and translation firm. We don't just preach it, we live it.
Okay.
But Be More Interpreting, which is my company, was birthed out of it, out of Bootstrap Bootcamp. I took the training to help my husband because he had a business. And I was like, no, no, that's not me, I'm fine. Through the training, the first 9 hours, we do a lot of exploration about your purpose and why you were created and what you do right now that you could monetize. And I've been interpreting since I was 6 years old when we migrated to this country. So it was just natural to say, I can start an interpreting firm tomorrow and make money. I know how to do that. And so that birthed my company. And so we do that with people over and over and over again, where no matter what you think your capacity is, we help you define that purpose and articulate your identity in a way that allows you to impact your neighborhood, your community, but also leave a legacy for your children and your children's children.
Yeah, well, you started off with something which was very profound. I was going to ask you, how do you teach leadership? I mean, I thought leaders were born. They were natural. No?
So I think everyone can be a leader in their own way, right? So for example, my husband is a basketball coach. I could never lead on a basketball court, but he can, right? And so I think that it's teaching people how to articulate their identity, because if you're comfortable with who you are and you're able to spread the word and know your brand, then you can lead in that way.
All right, I understand now. That makes perfect sense. I should have known that, right? I've had a previous show earlier this month, and we had Ron Crossan from Urban Ventures on, which I guess he does something similar, not exactly the same thing. I guess when you finish with the client, who then knows their brand, then they go to Ron so that he can help them develop that brand. How's that work?
Exactly.
Sounds good. So how did your organization get started? I mean, where did it come from?
So our founder, Keno Mullings, I can't even think of his name right now, right?
There's no acronym.
Keno Mullings, he actually is a software engineer.
Okay.
And he realized that although he made great money in the industry, there was really a need to help people launch businesses. And so he left his corporate job and he launched his software firm. And then he started developing this program and teaching people how to launch businesses. And so he started back in 2012, and the organization formalized as a 501c3 in 2017.
Oh, very good. So it is a 501. So there's no cost for your program, or is there a cost?
There are costs associated with it. Typically, we get grants. Like right now, we have a grant through the Rhode Island Foundation. We just got a grant from LISC and Citizens Bank Growing Communities Program. So we either highly subsidize it. Our most inexpensive scholarship is like $300 for our program, which is a $5,000 program.
Okay.
And we just work with people. We do our best never to turn away someone because of money. And let me just correct that. The $5,000 program is actually our tech boot camp, because we also teach software development. But our entrepreneurship track got funded by the Rhode Island Foundation to run a pilot program in Woonsocket. There we trained 11 people. We're in the middle of our second training now. We've launched so far 5 businesses in Woonsocket. And we just, those programs were free. We're doing one in Pawtucket the first weekend in April. And that one will be $50 a person. So we do our best to make it very economical and to make sure that people have access to really change their lives.
Now, you mentioned this, the boot camp is a 24-hour program. So do people have to stay overnight? No.
No, no. So, for example, the that's a good question, right?
Yeah, it is.
We keep you overnight.
Yeah.
So
It'll
like,
be fun.
Lock you up and keep them out.
right? Nope. We like to sleep, and we have families.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, in the first weekend in April, will be a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday intensive.
Okay.
Right now, the program that we're doing in Woonsocket runs Friday and Saturday, Friday night and Saturday morning. So they're running through the month of March. They'll end on March 30th.
Okay, so it's a couple consecutive days.
Yep.
That equals 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I just had to clarify that because I know, words matter. So you have
Yes,
to, you have to make
thank
sure
you.
people understand. So how are you connected now more directly with Denise and her operations?
So once we get our entrepreneurs to a point where they're going to need investments or they're going to need more training that maybe we don't have the capacity for, we send them over to Commerce, where Denise sort of picks up the pace and she can coach them through investing and finding
financing. Yeah, which
finding
is
the
usually
the right
case.
finances and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, and how hard has that been, Denise, for new companies coming to you?
Well, new companies, they all have different issues in terms of what's needed to get them to the next step. It could be that someone is just looking for co-working space, or they're looking to lease out an area, that they can work in and have their business in, or even purchased. So that comes up a lot. Also, financing just to have general permanent working capital. We have options for that. Through the Small Business Loan Fund, as well as the Small Business Assistance Program. So for permanent working capital, maybe they might have to buy equipment. It could be maybe a hairdresser or something who might want to buy equipment. There might be a challenge in terms of if they want to expand or something like that. Sometimes they need to do leasehold improvements for that too. So there's a variety of reasons why we could connect from training into actually helping them with the financial end of things.
Is there any requirement on the part of a business when they come to Commerce? For instance, if they're a minority business, do they have to be certified with the state of Rhode Island as a minority business?
We'd
Or-
like for
or
them to be
women-owned
certified
business?
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, because that opens up greater opportunities for people to obtain certification, assuming that, again, they're going to have the working capital to be able to pick up the jobs they'd like.
But not a requirement.
But it's not a requirement. It's not a
Okay.
requirement for them to work with me to be certified, not at all. We do have people who specialize in that with the state. I think you talked about
Yes.
Cheryl Burrell's department
Exactly.
and everything.
Yeah.
So obviously we would refer them out to them.
Very good. And what other partners do you have besides the Leadership Institute?
Oh, there's a variety of technical assistance providers. We work with Center for Women of Enterprise. We work with
CWE, yeah.
CWE,
Yeah.
another acronym.
Yeah.
Let's see, we work with Small Business Development Center.
And the SBA?
Who's funded by the SBA, so it's part of the SBA, as well as SCORE. SCORE has workshops also, free workshops. They're usually like not 24 hours, that's for sure.
No.
but they're for a few hours, maybe on a Saturday. They're running a series now, I think,
Yes.
through March. We have other technical assistance providers. We have Social Enterprise Greenhouse, and of course their mission is around socially acceptable types of businesses, that are going to be giving back to the community one way or another. So that's based
Greenhouse.
around
I'm not familiar with this.
social.
Yeah.
SCG?
SCG.
Yeah, no, tell me about that.
Well, they're located around Davos Square. They actually have a lot of co-working space that they lease out, but they have training programs every so often. I think it's several times a year for a few weeks at a time, where they bring a certain type of business together. Let's say all of entrepreneurs in the food industry or something like that.
Oh,
And they
okay.
bring them together and they train them, again, to take an idea concept to fruition in terms of being able to complete a business plan and step out and try to implement that plan.
Very good. I'll have to look further into that because it sounds very interesting. Sounds like something the viewers
ED
really
of
need
that
to
is,
know about.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
the ED of that executive director is Kelly Ramirez.
Kelly Ramirez,
Yeah.
okay. I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
So Shirley, how many people do you have working with you right now at the Institute?
Yeah, so we have a skeleton crew, I call us.
Okay.
There's 4 of us. Our founder's there part-time, and then I'm there as a director of operations. We have Victoria Rodriguez, who is our outreach coordinator, and Irasi DeBrito, who's our program coordinator. And we're 100% staff of people of color, and the majority are females. For affirmative action purposes, we've allowed Keno to work there.
And of
They
course,
get it
He's
because
the only guy.
They get it done.
He's the only guy.
because of you and you're also bilingual.
I'm trilingual.
Well,
Yeah,
trilingual, but I mean the organization then welcomes some bilingual
Most definitely.
entrepreneurs.
Yes, we're actually, all of our staff is bilingual, speaks another language, and we're all entrepreneurs.
Have you had any contact with the Southeast Asian community?
We have not. So a lot of our efforts right now have been focused on really seeking out strategic partnerships to advance our objectives. Especially this year, we have a goal of launching 100 businesses. And so we're looking to partner with CC, right?
The
Central for
Southeast
Southeast
Asian
Oh, I
Development
know.
Center?
Yes.
That's another
Yes.
acronym.
Yes.
CC. We're actually looking to partner with them.
I know what you mean. though.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, a previous show, Cheryl Burrell and Ron Crossan were talking about working with the Southeast Asian Development Center that they're doing training sessions as well. So you might want to reach out to them.
Thank you. Yeah.
That would work very well. So tell me about your success in terms of numbers of organizations that you've successfully, or people that you've successfully developed into a leader.
Oh man. So everyone leaves as a leader.
Okay.
Everyone.
Okay.
And we say that because even if you decide not to launch a business, you're at least able to articulate your identity and understand your purpose. And so that's a place where you could lead, right? So everyone leaves that way. As far as like businesses created in 2018, we launched 5 separate businesses, new businesses, and the our numbers are small, but they're impactful in the sense that the businesses are registered with the states, they're fully funded, and we teach people how to launch businesses for the bubble, I say, for free, right? With little to no money. So it removes all those barriers, and everyone gets very individualized support. So we walk hand by, everyone is texting me, asking questions. I have several people launching right now, and so our focus is very individualized.
Very good. Well, Rhode Island has the history of being pretty much dominated by small businesses. That is the majority of the workforce
Right, about
providers in
90%,
this state.
yeah.
So what you're doing is extremely important. Would you say that most of the organizations or businesses or leaders that come through your organization that end up going to Denise are 1 to 5? You said under 25 that you work with.
25 employees or less. It's 80% of the support we give.
But most small businesses aren't even that large when they first begin, are they?
No, usually just a couple of people. to
I
tell you
would
the
say ours
truth,
are
yeah.
micro businesses at the beginning.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I was
micro
going to get to.
businesses,
Yeah.
yes. And so you're looking at 1 to 2 people to start with. For my interpreting firm is an awesome example. So we're 2 partners. We partnered together to launch it. But we have a team of 48 interpreters, but they're
Sure.
all contractors,
Right.
right? So
Exactly.
technically there's only 2 employees, but our team is really 50 people strong.
Yeah, and it's Denise, you were talking about all those different departments or arms
Yeah.
of commerce that you interact with. There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many. And I was thinking the other day, I said, before I worked for commerce from the outside, even when I was, executive director at Minority Investment Development Corporation,
Right.
I didn't realize how many services were offered to small businesses until I sort of got there. And I said, wow, just really everything is here under one roof, basically.
Now, is this because of the restructure of commerce under Governor Raimondo?
Some of it is. Some of it is in terms of how things are divided up and how the departments interact with each other. But some of those departments have been there a long time, but they're not necessarily marketed all the time. So, we have things like international trade there that is a collaboration with the Bryant University.
Okay.
And you actually can get export advice from that particular department, which can be key for a lot of people who do want to export products.
Okay. Is there any special activities coming up in the near future that your office is involved in or will be involved in?
Well, we're always trying to be involved in the community. I've been going out to the Chambers of Commerce recently,
Okay.
Just to let people know what we have, what the services are, what it means for your business, and actually listen to the businesses in terms of things that they think they would like to have answers on. I know I have been hearing recently that because the employment rate is so low, businesses are starting to have a problem finding good people and then retaining them at that. So that's been something that I reached out to DLT with, and they have a variety of types of training programs and other types of services that these companies should be aware of, and they'd be happy to provide. And a lot of this, it's free of charge. So there are things there that really you can take advantage of without it costing a lot of money for you to have it.
Very good. It seems to me there's a marriage that could take place with the Office of Diversity and Equity, Cheryl Burrell's office, and yours. She was talking about a list that they provide of certified minority businesses to different departments of the state when there are new jobs coming about. So, and I guess there's a newsletter that talks to that.
Yeah, they have a newsletter that comes out now, and all the partners, including Commerce, we're one of the partners with ODEO.
Right.
And we're involved in a lot of, I sit on a couple of different committees involving that, so that we're able to sort of know what the issues are and maybe look within our treasury to see if we might be able to help them obtain some of the goals that they like to have. So we're constantly in partnership with ODEO.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's apparently she's been somewhat successful recently in increasing those roles.
Increasing those numbers. Yeah.
So Shirley, who else do you partner with besides the Commerce Department? Is
Besides
there
me.
anybody else?
Everyone.
Any other organizations specifically?
Everyone. We don't believe in recreating anything. So if there's someone out there doing it better than us or even doing it, we partner with them. So we have partnerships with the Rhode Island Foundation, Newport Housing, Millrace Kitchen in Woonsocket. Oh man, the list is so long.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
We partner with CWE, Urban Ventures.
Okay.
Right.
Excellent.
So and a lot of the technical assistance organizations, they all seem to collaborate together in one way, shape, or form at any point in time, or for different types of projects. And because there's some specialization among them, then it's not as if everybody's doing the same thing in the same way.
Well, I was going to get to that point.
Which really is a great thing.
Right.
Yeah, but that and historically has been a problem from my point of view, in the communities where we have a number of nonprofit organizations. Everyone's doing something that kind of overlaps the other, and it becomes somewhat a daunting process for the outsider, the citizen who wants to utilize these services, to know how to navigate that. Which one do I go to? because this might be the best one. Shirley's operation might be the best fit, but maybe I'm past Shirley. Maybe I already know I'm a leader, and I need to know I need to go to you for additional technical assistance.
Well, I sort of act as the navigator, basically, for commerce anyway. So if someone starts with me and I understand what they're trying to get to and how they want to do it, then I can recommend, maybe a couple different avenues, but I can recommend, knowing the experience I have and the background in entrepreneurship, which one might be better for them. Because not everybody might want to go to Shirley's program. They should, but no. But there are instances where, let's say if you're a certain type of business, you might want to maybe be around other businesses that are like you. Yeah, right. and that would be more of a boost for you in terms of moving you along.
So would you say it's somewhat of a mentorship, so to speak, by maybe recommending another person in the industry that you're developing in to work with that person? Is that something that you do?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and we have technical assistance providers that specialize in mentoring also. Okay. I believe the name is Rhode Island Mentorship Program. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Do you use them?
But they actually have people who've been in that particular industry. Normally, they're probably might be retired, they might not be, but they're offering their services in order to get together with the person on a regular basis to move them along to the next steps. Gotcha. So that really helps when someone who's been there, done that is pulling you along.
That's what I'm saying. Shirley, what about, do you do mentorships through your organization, or once they graduate, they just kind of cut them loose and make them fly?
No, not at all. Not at all. We do everything. I mean, just last night I was helping someone design a flyer, right? Okay. We do everything. You get us for as long as you need us, for whatever you need us. And our goal is to make people feel like they're a part of a larger community, because that's really how you affect change, is by developing community. I think it's important to note that the Rhode Island Foundation also developed a website called RI Builder, led by Carmen Diaz-Tucino, who really just gives a bunch of information about all the technical assistance providers that are out there. And we all meet once a month or once every other month to really hash out and iron out what that looks like and what we're putting out there to the community.
Very good. And you meet at the Rhode Island Foundation?
Yes.
Very good. Well, that foundation's done a lot of good things. And, and in fact, supporting this show, which is another thing the Rhode Island Foundation does do. That's great. Yeah, it does. Great. Listen, a half hour goes by real fast.
That's what you said, Peter.
It does, and we've almost run out of time. So we're going to have you guys back at another time and see where you are and see where development is in the state. But we have run out of time, and I want to thank today's guests, Denise Barge and Shirley Moore, and you, the viewers, for tuning in to another segment of In Another Opinion. A special thanks to PBS for making the program possible. I'm your host, Peter Wells. Give us your opinion on Facebook or Twitter at In Another Opinion, and have a great day.
The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.